Good day, everyone. We are the Group 4, and today we'll be talking about gender and family relations. But first, we have to define what is gender and family relations. Gender and family relations refer to the ways in which gender roles, expectations, and dynamics influence interactions within families and shape family structures. It encompasses the social, cultural, and emotional aspects of how gender identities and relationships are constructed and experienced within the context of the family unit. The importance of gender and family relations lies in its impact on individuals, families, and society as a whole. It influences the distribution of power, resources, and responsibilities within families, shaping the roles and expectations of family members. It also plays a significant role in shaping individuals' identities, self perception, and socialization. So, again, gender and family relations is focusing on the examined gender related issues to explain how and why displays of gender are being manifested in the everyday life patterns of contemporary families. Now, let's move on to the historical context of gender roles and family relations. So, gender roles in family relations have undergone significant changes throughout history. In many traditional societies, gender roles were often rigidly defined, with the men as the primary breadwinners and decision makers, and women primarily responsible for caregiving and domestic work. However, the mid 20th century witnessed a shift in gender roles in family relations due to various factors, including the women's rights movement, increased educational opportunities for women, advancement in contraception, and changing economic conditions. These factors lead to greater gender equality and a redefinition of traditional gender roles. Women's participation in workforce increased, challenging the notion that men were solely responsible for financial provision. The feminist movement advocated for gender equality, challenging traditional gender norms and advocating for women's rights in various areas including education, employment, and reproductive rights. These changes gradually contributed to more egalitarian family dynamics and rethinking of traditional gender roles. Now, let's tackle the importance of gender equality within family relationships. We all know that gender equality within family relationships is crucial for several reasons. One is we have the individual well being, relationship satisfaction, parenting and child development, and societal progress. So, first, we'll tackle about individual well being. So, gender equality promotes psychological well being and personal fulfillment for all family members. When individuals are not confined to rigid gender roles, they have more opportunities for personal growth, self expression, and the pursuit of their interests and aspirations. For relationship satisfaction, gender equality fosters healthier and more satisfying relationships. When family members share responsibilities and decision making, it promotes mutual respect, cooperation, and effective communication. For parenting and child development, gender equality within families positively impacts parenting and child development. Children learn by observing their parents' behaviors and attitude. When parents model egalitarian values, it challenges gender stereotypes and promotes gender neutral parenting, allowing children to develop their full potential free from restrictive gender expectations. And last is the societal progress. Gender equality within families contributes to broader social progress. It challenges gender based discrimination and promotes social justice. Additionally, when families embrace gender equality, it sets a positive example for future generations, influencing societal norms and fostering a more inclusive and equitable society. Promoting gender equality within family relationships requires ongoing efforts to challenge gender stereotypes, promote open dialogue, and create supportive environments that allow individuals to express their authentic selves and participate equally in all aspects of family life.
Now, let's talk about the formulations of the use of gender that is supported by the merging of role theory and structural functionalism, as well as the social constructed theory. So, when we say role theory, this is a concept that helps us understand how gender roles are constructed in society. According to this theory, individuals learn and internalize specific roles based on their gender, which then shape their behavior and interactions with others. For example, men are often expected to be the breadwinners and protectors of the family, while women are expected to be the caregivers and nurturers. And these expectations are reinforced through socialization processes such as media, education, and family upbringing. However, it is important to note that these rules are not fixed or natural, but rather socially constructed and can vary across cultures and historical periods. Role theory also highlights the ways in which gender roles can create inequalities and power imbalances within families and societies. By understanding the concept of role theory, we can better analyze and challenge these gendered expectations and work towards creating more equitable and inclusive communities. Now, for the structural functionalism that is merged through role theory, is a view of society as a complex system of interconnected parts that work together to maintain social order and stability. According to this theory, gender roles are functional for the family and society because they provide clear expectations and guidelines for behavior, which helps to reduce conflict and promote cooperation. And in the context of family relations, structural functionalism suggests that men and women have different roles and responsibilities based on their biological differences and socialization processes, same as for the role theory. For example, men are expected to be providers and protectors, while women, as what I have said, expected to be caregivers and nurturers. And these roles are seen as complementary and necessary for the functioning of the family and society as a whole. And for the social constructionism, it challenges the traditional views of gender and family relations by arguing that gender is not a fixed or natural category, but rather a social construct that is shaped by cultural and historical factors. This means that we consider to be masculine or feminine behavior is not determined by biology or genetics but by the norms and values of our society. For example, the idea that men should be strong and assertive, while women should be nurturing and emotional, is not a universal truth, but rather a product of cultural beliefs and practices. By recognizing the social construction of gender, we can begin to question our assumptions and challenge gender stereotypes that limit our understanding of ourselves and the others. Now, we've come up to the theoretical perspectives. So, first is the structural functional theoretical framework. That is a perspective that views of society as a complex system with interconnected parts that work together to maintain also social and order stability. And this perspective emphasizes the importance of social institutions such as the family, in maintaining this order. In relation to gender family relations, this perspective suggests that gender roles within families serve a functional purpose in maintaining social order. For example, men are often seen as breadwinners, again, and women as caregivers, which helps to ensure the economic stability and emotional being of the family unit. For the functional role theory, it is a perspective that explains the gender roles within families. According to this theory, men are typically associated with instrumental roles, while women are associated with expressive roles. This means that men are expected to be the breadwinners and protectors of the family, while women are expected to provide emotional support and care for the family members. One example of how this theory plays out in real life is the division of labor within household. Men are more likely to take on tasks such as fixing things around the house or doing yard work, while women are more likely to take on tasks such as cooking and cleaning. While there has been some progress towards gender equality in recent years, these traditional gender roles still persist in many households, right? Now for the relative resources theory, that it suggests that the distribution of resources within family determines power dynamics and decision making processes. This theory asserts that individuals with more resources, such as education, income, or social status, have greater bargaining power in relationships and are able to exert more influence over decision making. For example, if a husband has higher income than his wife, he may be able to make decisions regarding household expenses without consulting her. Similarly, if a wife has a higher level of education than her husband, she may have a more say in decisions regarding their children's education. For comparing the theoretical perspectives on this tree, for the gender family relations offer unique insights into the complex dynamics that shape our understanding of gender roles within families. For the structural functional theoretical framework, it emphasizes the importance of social structure and how it influences individual behavior and interactions within families. This perspective highlights the role of gender in maintaining social order and stability, but it has been criticized for ignoring power and imbalances and inequalities within families. For the functionalist role theory, it focuses on the specific roles that men and women play within families and how these roles contribute to overall family functioning. This perspective recognizes the importance of gender in shaping family dynamics, but it has been criticized for reinforcing traditional gender norms and limiting opportunities for individual expression and growth. Finally, the relative resources theory emphasizes the importance of economic and social resources in shaping gender roles and relationships within families. And this perspective recognizes the impact of external factors on family dynamics and provides a more nuanced understanding of gender and family relations. However, it has been criticized for overlooking cultural and historical factors that also shape gender roles and expectations within families. So, in conclusion, for this lesson, the understanding of these theoretical perspectives on gender family relations is crucial for comprehending the complex dynamics of families and how they shape our society. We have explored these three key perspectives: the structure of functional theoretical framework, the functionist role theory, and the relative resources theory, each offering unique insights into gender roles and relationships within families. While each perspective has its strengths and weaknesses together, they provide a more comprehensive understanding of the intricate interplay between gender and family dynamics. By examining these perspectives, we can better understand the ways in which gender reshapes our experiences within families and society at large. It is only through this understanding that we can work towards creating a more equitable and just world.
Critical social constructionist theory of gender. It maintains that gender is socially defined and replicated as a mechanism for organizing and distribution of resources and power. In this regard, gender is more on hierarchy, and the theories that it emerged as an alternative framework to explain why women and men fulfill various tasks and responsibilities in families. Based on the theories, gender is a complex set of social relations enacted across a range of social interactions. Early socialization includes cultural scripts for gender that transmit social expectations and values about the meaning of femaleness and maleness. Variability in women and men's skills, attitudes, ways of thinking, and understanding life is not innate, but socially constructed and socially reinforced. Roles associated with caregiving and household tasks in families are assigned to women because family roles are socially guided, perceptual, interactional, and micropolitical activities that casts particular pursuits as expressions of masculine and feminine natures. It emphasizes the importance of social change in order to challenge and reform existing gender norms and promote gender equality.
So now, let us discuss about the theories to explain why women continue to fill the role as primary caretaker. So we have two perspectives. We have first the time availability and respond demand perspective, and the second one, which is the power theoretical perspective. So first, let us discuss about the time availability and respond demand perspective. So it says that women are often employed in positions with greater flexibility than men and can take time off work to attend family matters, including household chores. So this pretty suggests that men's nature of work needs their presence in the workplace for them to function. So they cannot set it aside. They cannot do other tasks aside from what is given to them. So it needs focus more than anything else. While women, in this perspective, says that they tend to be more flexible in their work. So they can like take time off work to attend into like some important matters concerning the family or concerning the households. So based on how I understand the perspective, it also says that um, women it is not necessary for women to be in the workplace for them to function well, since they can like do their task or finish the job they are given or the task they are given even if they are not in the workplace, or even if they're not physically present in the workplace. So they can do this somewhere, like for instance, they can still manage to do their jobs even if they are at home. So that's it. So now let's move on to the power theoretical perspective. It suggests that level of resources such as salary and economic resources that one brings to the family serve as a bargaining power and increase one's leverage to opt out of family work. So this is kind of true, no? So men, since let's just put it in this way, that men are the primary or are the breadwinner in the family. So from that thought alone, so men are excluded in the household work since they are the ones who work for the family. They are the main provider. So um, the other members of the family who have no work or who have less work than the than men tend to do most of the work, if not all. So men only assist in minor like household works and such. So yeah, that's it. So understanding how gender roles can affect the nature of family responsibilities requires research on how fathers are involved in household responsibilities and the role of men's gender-related identities. Yet research with male caregivers remains surprisingly sparse. So let's just say if we take it in the context, the job of a caregiver, so we can rarely see men as caregivers. It's because it is intended or it is mostly given to women, or women are mostly or women mostly assume the job or the role. I think it is because of the empathy level or the empathy level of men and women, since men, for me, have less empathy level than women. So um, it is best suited for them, or the job is better suited for them. Though I am not saying that men cannot be caregivers, but I am just suggesting or saying that caregivers are mostly women. So let's move on to the gay and lesbian families. So gay and lesbian families who are raising children offer a challenge to conceptualizations of tasks as naturally falling to one gender or another, and create a unique opportunity to understand how couples negotiate roles when they share a gender. Moreover, understanding alternative models of family life helps us understand how we can expand our conceptualization of family. So when we say gay and lesbian families, this is not very common in our society today, especially in the Philippines, since we are a conservative country. Whereas in the United States or other countries, it is directly observed. So, if somehow we saw like these kind of families in the society, we tend to like thought differently as to how they raise the child, or as to how they divide the roles in the family. But um, coming in contact with this kind of families helps understand the nature of the family, or how they conceptualize their family based on the compositions of the family members. So I guess that ends my topic, and yeah.
Women's decision to work. Not surprisingly, the process through which individuals and families negotiate career and family responsibilities remain gendered despite social advances in career equality. While women are earning more professional degrees and pursuing high careers as frequently as their male counterparts, the burden of negotiating the work family balance falls more frequently to women. Though patriarchy is getting slowly practiced these days, balancing and taking care of the family most likely fall to women. Female partners are more likely to sacrifice their professional lives to meet the needs and demands of their family, taking the role as primary caretaker of their children. This pervasive and perpetual trend highlights the freedom or lack thereof that women in making decision to leave work to meet the demands associated with family management, caring for children, hiring childcare help from outside the family, or changing their work trajectories to accommodate both career and family. Modern families. There is evidence that the changing structure of modern families may challenge gender role norms, allowing new opportunities for researchers to understand the role of gender in family processes. The prevalence of women pursuing post-secondary education has necessarily altered the structure of the American family. As more and more American women are pursuing post-secondary education, they are delaying having children. Since the 1970s, there has been a 3 to 6 year increase from 21.4 to 25 years in the average age of first-time motherhood. A second important effect of increased post-secondary education among American mothers is the desire to remain in the workforce and thus seek childcare. Many families of varying structure are paying for full-time childcare. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there has been an increase in less traditional family structures, indicated by increases in single parents, step-parents, grandparents, and adoptive parents raising children. As of 2008, fewer children than ever live with both biological parents. Although stay-at-home mothers are still more common than stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home mothers are becoming less common, whereas stay-at-home dads are an increasing phenomenon. Increases in stay-at-home fathers may be indicative of a relaxation of the gendered nature of the historically male role of breadwinner, and more women than men are completing college and graduate degrees. Political commentators have labeled our current economic crisis as a man-cession because it appears to be affecting men more so than women. Household division labor. It stands to reason that when one partner is out of the workplace, this individual would take on more responsibility in the home. However, given that most families requires two incomes to make ends meet, who becomes responsible for the family and home management work? As more women enter the workplace and the percentage of dual-income families increase, we would expect to see distribution of household labor equalize between partners or perhaps be proportional to the number of hours worked outside the home. However, the research on the division of labor in the nuclear families in the United States shows that there is somewhat delayed gender revolution in terms of household responsibilities. Women who are employed still participate in more household chores, including responsibility for child care, management of family members' schedules, and administration of family finances. This pattern persists even if the wife works as many hours and or make as much money as the husband. Husbands are beginning to participate more in household chores. However, inequity persists as women contribute at least twice as much as men.